great. Thank you so much for joining me, Hadiyah and Sophia. It is an absolute pleasure. So we've had a chance to meet in person and chat a little bit, but if you guys don't mind just doing a quick introduction, I just said who you are, but no one knows who is who. So if you don't
Yeah.
mind introducing yourselves and saying if you're comfortable, where you're from and where you guys are located generally, would be much appreciated.
Okay. I'm Hadya. I am one of the co-founders of Moon, and I am from the LA area. I grew up in like the LA area.
There.
SoCal.
Nice. And you're still in SoCal?
Still in SoCal, yeah.
Nice.
And I'm Sophia, and I'm also the other co-founder. And I actually am also in the LA area, same as Hadia. And I'm actually also a psychotherapist on top of being a co-founder. And originally, I'm from New York. Like I was born there and lived there till I was like 9. So I will always consider myself a New Yorker.
Nice.
But anyway, yes, we're both out here now.
Okay, very nice. And so let's just jump right into it because I feel like a lot of people are curious. What inspired you guys to start Moon? I'm so like, I don't know who wants to go first or if you guys prefer for me to call on you. You know what? I'll start with Sophia because Sophia just went last. So what inspired you to co-found this?
Well, I mean, honestly, Hadi and I are best friends, so we were always just hanging out with each other and always talking about our own personal lives, and it's like our fireplace chat. So I think it was just one of those things of just expressing the frustration of like dating and like apps not working, and also having a place to go to that feels very like it fits our vibe, like just somewhere classy, somewhere where people, first of all, like, if you want to have a certain type of, religious background, that everyone is from a certain background, certain age group, education, this and that, like people who are just qualified. You don't find places like that. And the places that do offer events did not seem to be on par with what we would like want to go to. So that's where like we need to create a place where people feel welcomed and also an elevated area where people would want to come to. Like we would go ourselves that we would want to go into. So that was a lot of the inspiration behind that
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what Sophia said. Like, I was married for 13 years, and then 3 years ago, I got divorced. So I was married my entire 20s, and I missed like all of I got married when I was 20. I missed all of like the dating kind of stuff that I was seeing my friends doing when they were like on the apps and this and that. And so I was actually really excited when I was first single, when I was like felt like I was ready to like kind of start like dating. I was excited because I had never done any of that like in my 20s. And I was like, oh, I'm excited to try these apps. And that excitement was like very short-lived because you
Yeah.
just saw like how terrible and like just like what an inefficient system it was. And just like, I don't know, just exactly like what Sophia said, like, or if you want to meet like a certain caliber of person and you just, it just, to me, it just seemed like I'm big about like a good usage of my time. And it just seemed like a really inefficient usage of time. And so Sophia and I would always just chat about like our love lives and just things like that. And really just wanting, like she said, to create a space where like something that we would actually want to go to, because I think there have been singles events and things like that like put on by like the community, and it's always just for some reason it never like it's not something that ever resonated with either one of us. So we wanted, and we knew that that was the same experience for a lot of other really well qualified people out there, was that these great people would not want to necessarily go to some of the things that were being offered. So we kind of just wanted to change that and just like kind of disrupt things and build something that we would want to go to, something that we would be excited to go to, and not any feelings of shame, any feelings like that. Just like a space where it's like you can meet like-minded people, and just like find your mans, find your woman, like just and have a good time also.
Yeah.
So
Yes to all of that. You know, it's so funny. I thought to myself, I had to interview you guys because a lot of us talk about this. Like, there needs to be this exact type of space that you guys are trying to curate or have curated, actually, because I've been to an event for this kind of professionals group, 30 plus, who are looking for love.
Yeah.
But, we do have events within our community that, yes, are catered to singles, but they don't necessarily fit us. And I was like, I'm going to talk to the people who actually went and did something about it. Because the rest of us just complain and we're like, the apps suck. These events, they don't suck, but they may not be for
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys were actually the ones who are like, we're actually going to not just talk about it, but we're going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So that was very inspirational for me. And so, I mean, clearly there had to be some passion behind it too, right? Because like I said, a lot of us talk about it, but you guys actually did it. So tell me kind of what do you love most about this work so far? Because I think you guys just had your, and correct me if this is not right, your first event
Yeah.
weeks ago. So what do you love most so far? And what has been the most challenging?
Well, I could say like passion wise, to kind of also go into that is that like I'm an entrepreneur. I've started businesses before. So for me, it was also just like you said about this idea of there's a problem and we can all just kind of talk about it. We could talk about even like, oh, wouldn't it be great if this thing existed? But then like I have just a passion for building things. So for me, it was just like actually let's actually create the space that we want to see, which is a lot, as like Sophia and I both know, much harder than it looks in terms of just having an idea and bringing it to life, and marketing it and doing all of those things. So to me, I always have like a passion for building, for anything kind of like entrepreneurial in general. Um, and then just the idea of being able to help and
Yeah.
support so many people who are struggling because
Yeah.
I'm beyond shocked. I was already shocked when I was kind of injected into the single world and seeing like what the landscape was. But even since we started, I've just been shocked at how many people are really like in our age group and just not finding what they're looking for, not connecting with the right people, or maybe meeting people and like somehow something blocking them to be able to make it work or be ready for a relationship. So that's to me been like one of the things that I'm passionate about. And also one of the things that I feel like has been like a little bit of a challenge also is just like, people that think that they're ready. And then that's why we have Sophia here and to like kind of assess like, what's going on? Like, you've had, especially like, just to throw it out there, like some of the men, like what's going on? Like you guys, there's a lot of candidates in front of you and, are you actually ready? Like what's actually going on? And just kind of challenging and helping people kind of get out of their comfort zone and find their person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think helping people for me is like the leading factor. Like I think the passion, I mean, I'm a therapist, right? So I'm like that's my joy every day of like helping my own patients. And but I feel like when I see the applications come through, or, the profiles coming through, like and see, and so many people are so gracious on there, leaving notes for us. And when I'm seeing that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you just empathize so much with that because it's like you can just tell like the need that's there. And it's almost some people are just like this is like, oh, like this is it. Like, like you need to help us, please. Like there's no other place.
They're like, I'm about to give up.
Yeah, like
Yes,
like we're just looking forward to this and that. So I feel like also for me, a challenge would be like the pressure you feel in this, but also knowing like, hey, we're doing what we can, obviously. And the rest is also like God's work, right? Like we're doing what we can and he will bring it together. So
Yes, exactly.
So, of course, you've had that part. So the challenges being, people's expectations, their mindset, right? So we have Sophia in there kind of working through that. And then the love of the work and helping those of us who really need it.
yeah.
Have there been any success stories so far? And successes don't necessarily, because like we said, it's only been a few weeks, but success just means in terms of even getting your inaugural event off the ground. And if you guys kind of just want to tell me a little bit about that or tell the audience about that, and then what has that success meant for you to kind of help you keep going?
Yeah. So we just hosted, so for your audience to know, we just hosted our first event about 2 weeks ago. And basically it was an event where we brought approximately 20 singles together, 10 guys and 10 girls, and brought them into like a beautiful space, like as you know, like a beautiful garden, an event that, a place that we would want to go to. And the event was highly curated. So how it works is that, we look at their profiles and we invite them specifically knowing that we have a couple of people that we think are good matches for them. We collaborated with a matchmaker, Huda, from the show Muslim Matchmaker on Hulu. And I think just the success was that the event went so well in terms of like no like hiccups, no bumps, which is to be honest, as like from a business standpoint, there's always like some bumps and things like that typically tend to happen, especially on like a first event. And Alhamdulillah went like really smoothly, really well. And yeah, there was like budding love that was coming from it, some good matches that we saw. So that was also like a really huge win for us.
Yeah.
And just being able to pull it off. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, just if for it to come to life, like we kept referring to it as
Yeah.
our baby. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's the day of
We're
the birth of the baby. But to see it come to life with like that night before everyone walked in, I was just like, my breath was taken away because I was like, oh my gosh, like we worked so hard
Yeah.
for this to
Yeah.
come to be. And not just about the decor, but just everyone's willingness to come through. We had people flying in from out of state. Like, and obviously, as you know, it was such a rainy day, like literally a hurricane in
Horrendous
LA
thing.
on that day. So for people to still show up and support for themselves, but also for us, like to come to the event. Like it was amazing. Like we were just, yeah, it was a success in that sense. It felt so good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can I just add to that? So
Yeah.
I was there. So folks would not know that. So I was there and I exaggerate not. I am not a paid a paid actor or something. This is a real testimonial. These guys blew it out of the water. So Sophia is not exaggerating. It was torrential downpour. I was like, is this still happening? Didn't get a
Yeah.
cancellation, drove there, and you walked in. And I want you guys to go follow them on Instagram. At the end of the video, I'm going to have them tell you guys what the Instagram is so you can go follow because I'm sure we'll see some pictures and stuff there. But I just want to say from a first person perspective, I walked into this mystical fairy garden, is how I would describe it.
I just got chills.
Right? No, amazing. And then there was like servers there handing out a drink. I don't want to take all the time talking about it, but the point is, it is exactly the vibe that it exceeded my expectations. It went beyond what I would expect for a kind of high-end curated Muslim professionals experience. And so if you guys are waffling or unsure about whether to sign up, sign up today. Don't worry, you have someone who, like I said, I'm not a paid actor. This is a real testimonial. I thoroughly enjoyed the event and it was so well put together. So shout out to you both. So we will give your Instagram at the end so people can kind of check out some of the pictures from that. So my next question is, and this is I'm sure one that you get all the time, how do you balance tradition and modern expectations? Because, the Muslim community is a little bit different. And so I'd love for one or both of you to touch on that.
I mean, I think for me, it's been eye-opening as far as for us talking about how to make sure we honor everybody's, differences and backgrounds. Like that's why when we created the application, the profile process, like we wanted to make sure we have on there like the range of everybody coming from certain types of traditions to be more liberal viewpoints and again honoring people's backgrounds of knowing like this is a place that is for open to everybody.
Yeah. Inclusive,
inclusive, yeah.
and feel safe for
Yeah.
whatever their background may be as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. And also again, it's on everyone to tell us the full transparency on there so we know, right?
Yeah.
So we have people who are extremely practicing to people who are just, Muslim by name, right? Which is fine. It's totally fine. Either way, it's the more you tell us, the more we know how to help you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's for me has been like where we get our information for learning how to balance this out. Because
Yeah.
otherwise we don't know.
Yeah, there was so many questions, like discussions that we had prior to even like she said, when we were building like that application for like that profile kind of intake form. And even that, like we have like a sexual intimacy question on there. We had like a focus group to kind of just discuss with potential people in the pool of like, is this question okay to be asked, or how did this question make you feel, or what is there like a way that we could word it better, because we really want to be mindful of everyone's like cultural and like background, but also use that information to help us, help us, like she said, like get you the right person. So I think we did a great job, and I think like we're super proud of the way that our intake has been and the way that we've had conversations with people that like it feels very inclusive. Like the space feels very inclusive. I don't think anyone would come in being like the very religious or being like a non-practicing Muslim and feel like, oh, this is not a space that like could welcome them.
Yeah, I want to echo that because I filled out the form and I was like, you guys asked questions that were in the back of my mind, like, whether it's a dating profile or anything else that I've tried, that I was like, you wish you kind of want someone to know, but you don't know how to say it. And so I appreciate you guys like asking that up front so I don't have to have those awkward conversations. So I just wanted to say that for the audience as well, that again, if you are like on the fence, some of those, like Hadia said, more questions that you're like, oh, should I not say this? You get to tell them so that they can kind of work in the background and match you with some folks that are more aligned to your values, wherever that lies within the spectrum. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just like, I think also it's just like such a no judgment space. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how we are in general. Like the two of us are just such like no judgment people. And then we just wanted to make sure that that carried through to everything that we do, is like, it's completely no judgment space. You know, you could just share who you are so that we know like how to best to match you with someone, because there's people like you everywhere. You know, it's just
Yeah.
about finding your person.
And also, I think us bringing ourselves forward as the face, obviously, we're the co-founders, and people can see us too in the way. I mean, there's more to reveal, obviously, as we go through, because it's still beginning, right? Like, as they see how we show up ourselves and like, you know, our own value system and things like that. And people can align with both of us, one of us more than the other, whatever it is. Like, I think you can just see like from that, where we're at.
Completely. I mean, me being able to see, especially, I feel like the Muslim space, maybe it's just in LA, I don't know. But I do feel like I find that it's even divided from a ethnicity perspective.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I won't say who and who, but there's a certain group, certain groups are over here, certain groups are over there, and there's nothing wrong, there's no tensions, but they don't really mix. So even seeing you guys together as like, hey, we're friends or besties, and we're gonna create this platform where there's going to be someone for everyone. Just seeing you guys alone made me like, oh, they got it. Like I felt comfortable just by
Oh,
looking at you, because I was like, they understood the assignment just by being friends. People underestimate that so much, but having a diverse friend group and
yeah.
being willing to be open to that alone lets us know that, okay, for those of us who maybe fall in between, we have friends of all kinds. We're interested in dating people of all kinds. It's very inspiring to see you guys put forward kind of that united, like, we're here to represent the whole community front. So shout out to you guys for that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
especially to your point about dating people of all kinds too, because it's like
Yes.
that's what you want to bring in. You want to bring in the diversity so that we can have, because not everyone is like, I'm Palestinian, I have to be with a Palestinian. Not everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
So, and not to say that that's why Palestinians feel, but that's, to me, it's like so many people are open and some people aren't, which is fine, but at least like we want to have the platform where people can meet other people.
Which is why we kind of emphasize that in the application process of
Yeah.
like if they're open to meeting other groups and like, you know, other ethnicities, or if they're comfortable with their own ethnicity, things like that, you
Yeah.
know? It's just more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So quick question. So since you guys are here, I figured it'd be fun for us to pick your brain. What advice would you give someone who's navigating the search for a partner today? And this could be for anyone, Muslim, not Muslim. If you can drop a gem on us, what would be your advice?
I mean, I would say the first thing that comes to my mind, and I know we both agree on this, is like just be open. Like let life surprise you,
Yeah.
you know, without coming in your own way of trying to have already judgments behind and going into situation, right? Just letting yourself just be like, you know what, I've done what I have done in the past, and here I am today, and like I'm gonna do what I can. Just I mean, we were saying to each other as just
Yeah.
friends, like we need to let life show its magic.
Yes.
Like the only way it can surprise you is if you can just let go of this perceived control
Exactly.
or all this, you know, just let it be.
That's perfectly said, like no notes.
See.
Exactly how I feel. Just be open to
Yeah.
surprises. Another thing I would say is just if you know a situation in your heart is not good for you, just walk away. Like don't waste too much time. Like
Yeah.
don't waste too much time on situations where you're questioning someone, you're questioning someone's intentions, they're not showing up the way that makes you feel safe or wanted or this, that. Like we only have one life, and it's just walk away from situations that don't feel right. Like don't
Yeah.
waste too much time.
Love that. Be open, but trust your heart, right? Be open, but trust your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So far, how has this journey, like you guys said, one of you is married, one of you is divorced, but how has this journey specifically, starting Moon, shaped your journey, your understanding of love, faith, community, if at all?
Community and faith.
I think just like meeting so many people through this. I mean, to me, it's like just been kind of eye-opening to see what the community is like, what the community's expectations are, what kind of like different voices are in the community. I think in that sense, it's been a little bit eye-opening.
Yeah.
And then you said community, and what was the other thing?
Love and faith.
Love and faith. From I'm trying to think from Starting Moon. I mean, I feel like my views on love and faith are like forever evolving. Just to me, it's just so much, I think, about like letting, like what she said, like maybe 15 minutes ago, about like we can do our part, but like also like it's on Allah too. Like the rest of it is kind of like in faith's hand. So it's just learning to like let go of control. And I think that that goes along with what we were saying before about like allowing yourself to be surprised, is that like I do think like there's the effort that we put in, the tying of our camel, the showing up, like putting yourself out there 100%, but also just like not being too like white knuckle about it. Like just, you know, like things are going to work out, and kind of just really believing in that, believing that things will work out, believing that things are meant for you, are coming your way, and that just like watch it unfold and like let yourself experience some of that like magic.
Yeah. We need more magic for sure.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that, Sophie? If not, no worries.
I don't think so. I think she said it perfectly. I feel like I kind of echoed in some of my other things, but yeah.
Okay. So I will ask you guys next, what do people actually, I really wanted you guys to touch on this because like you said, it's part Allah and then part like, you know, you do your part, we have to do our part. Then there's just like divine timing, right? So what do you think people often misunderstand about the matchmaking process that you kind of want to get out there? So if people are signing up for Moon today, you're like, here's what you can expect, but you know, here's how to temper your expectations, or here's what you can expect.
I feel like for us, I think what can be a misconception about it would be the assumption that we're doing just matchmaking. And for us, our primary focus is offline, like events, like offline dating, right? So it's pretty much like curating these beautiful dinners and mixers that we will be having. And the matchmaking will be part of the process, right? But mainly it's going to be our events to bring people together so they can take it on their own, you know?
Yeah, I think sometimes we get a fair amount of questions from people who think that they are signing up for, or that not that they think they're signing up for, but there's the expectation that they might be wanting a service that's one-on-one matchmaking, which we do offer. We do actually offer that as part of like our membership. But the primary thing, like she said, is that it's curated events. So you are being match made, but not like in a one-on-one thing where you're working directly with a matchmaker and you're, you know, having candidates sent to you. It's more of just bringing you to a space where you're going to meet the candidates that we chose for you. So that I would say is like a little bit of a misconception in terms of how the process works, but I think it's also kind of quickly resolved for them. It's just kind of a question that comes up a little bit here and there.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you guys cleared that up, because I think traditionally most people think I submit, you know, my profile and all this information, and then boom, bam, boom, you send me 5 profiles and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
I think because we have a matchmaker working with us, they think that that might happen, and we're like, no, like, you know, that's part of the process, is the matchmaker and us review your profiles, but we're bringing you together for an event.
Yeah.
Which I will say, I felt very, what's the word? I felt very comfortable. I didn't feel,
it's less pressure.
yeah, it wasn't awkward. It wasn't pressuring. I just went in, I met cool people. You guys found ways to help us kind of, I'm spoiling it. People need to sign up. Sign up. That's how you find out. But
I also just think there's something to be said about meeting someone in person.
Yeah.
We can talk about the apps and we can hate on the apps. I think collectively everyone hates them, but also even from a matchmaking process, which I myself have used a matchmaker and do, like, you know, so to me, I have no shame on that part of the process or no hate on that part of the process, but there is still that element of someone sending you photos of someone and you being able to make a judgment of like, no, I don't want to meet them. So we like our format because we've looked at your profile and we've looked at their profile and we think you guys are a great match. And we also think that there's, you know, maybe this other person or that other person that's a good match for you. And we're going to bring you into the same space. We're not sending you their pictures so you could see it in advance and have all, like she said, your preconceived notions and be like, no. You know, we're just going to bring you to the same space and watch what happens when you actually interact with like a 3-dimensional person. Who's got their charisma and got their energy and got their real life persona, as opposed to just like viewing pictures of them.
Snap, 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 snap. Exactly. Just a couple more questions because you guys are booked and busy and we need to get you on with your day. But I would ask, what do you hope? And I think you guys touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but I feel like it's good to kind of end with these two things. What do you hope Moon contributes to the larger Muslim community?
I mean, I feel like for us, it's to help our ummah, right? Like to help them understand, like, here, we're here for you. We hear you. We see that there's issues. Again, we can't control what happens out of this, but we want to be able to do what we can and play a part in that and create a space, right, for people to feel safe at and to be excited again to, especially after the pandemic of like people like learning to re-socialize, to like be more comfortable with coming out there and, going in the wild, but this is going to be a more beautiful place to come to. So just again, creating a space where people can come to and being a part of that change that needs to happen. Because so many people, I mean, even just reading again, like I said, so many people still, you can tell they're just so over it. They're so jaded. Like even though they're trying, it's like their last effort. But it's like you want people to come find their oomph again, like be happy and be like, you know what, there's hope. Like there are things out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Same sentiments. Just really providing people like a solution because I really do feel like we've always talked about like there's like the pandemic is like the marriage pandemic of like people not getting married and people just struggling. And I mean, for me, like I have kids, I have this and that. So like I'm not like in a rush, but I see so many people who it's like she said, they're like there's like they're over it or there's a almost like a sadness in the sense of like, oh, it's not happening and I need it to happen because I want to have kids and I want to have this and that. And I just want to be able to support like everyone, whatever, wherever stage of life that they're in, be able to support them in like helping them find an alternative of ways that they can meet someone and like have fun doing it. Like bring back the fun, bring back that you're excited to go to an event, you're excited to meet someone, you finally are on a guest list where like you actually are like into the people that are on the guest list and you're excited there. So really bring that joy and like fun energy.
That is actually a good point. And I didn't say this earlier. I felt like at the event, I just was able to kick back and just get to know people because I knew that you guys are, I wouldn't say targeting a particular group because you're open, but meaning I knew things that a lot of us worry about, things that we're afraid to say, but we don't really say, like perhaps income or whatever. You guys had sorted that out. And so I literally was just able to talk to the guys and really get to know them as a person. I was not worried I didn't even ask, what do you do? Which is such a normal question. People ask me, which is fine, but I didn't feel the need to do that because I was like, okay, that part.
Exactly. You already know.
I love that because that's the feeling that so many people deserve to feel, like that sense of being taken care of, right?
Yes.
Like you knew you were taken care of and you didn't have to worry about any of that. And I love that you can trust us in that sense.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Exactly what we want. Like we want people to walk in and not have to worry, like how you said exactly about those things, because that is something that would come to mind. I mean, maybe from a woman's perspective, but maybe there's other questions that would come to mind from a perspective. But it's like you just want to be like, oh, I just can meet people and enjoy myself and have fun. And I know that like they've got me, like they've got it covered. And if I have a question about anyone, I can go and ask them and they'll give me they can get, you can get some more details and that. So it's like you're in a supported space.
Absolutely. Last thing I'll
just like a random mixer too, because we did see and we did consider like having like mixers that were like more random. And it's like, no, like the fact that it's curated is what allows it to kind of you to feel this way.
Absolutely. And you guys were there. I was going to say that was the thing I'd interject, but you guys were off to the side. So people may not have known if we had a question about somebody or if we were feeling so. It was so any awkward thing. I don't know how you guys thought of it, but you thought of it in advance. So anything that we could think of, like, you let us know that even in that space, we didn't necessarily have to say it then. We could let you know afterwards. So just wanted to say that too, in case anyone was thinking like, oh, okay, but maybe that's awkward. It's not at all. It was probably the most laid back dating experience I had. It just felt very chill and we had some deep conversations amongst us. So I didn't feel awkward in any way. But I will wrap up with one last question. If you could go back and give yourselves one piece of advice before launching this, what would it be?
Mm.
I mean,
I would
that's
be like, I mean, we did our best by taking care of ourselves, but also like just be prepared. Like it was like there was a lot going in, there still is a lot going into this. I think it's making sure you take care of yourself through this process of like balancing that out, right? Because we're, like I said, we're friends and we still were trying to check in with each other. Like we see each other all the time, but like even through this process of not forgetting why we started this and who we started it with, and just knowing that we have each other like in that regard, because it is difficult, like going through this business part. Like I have no
yeah.
understand
To
how
me,
bad
I
it
mean,
was.
starting a business is a lot. And I
It's
think no
hard.
matter what the business, like I've had an online business, an online marketing agency before, I have a kitchenware line. So there's always challenges with starting a
Yeah.
business. Sophia runs her own therapy practice, but even just going through this experience, like it's totally different,
Oh
right?
yeah, I feel like I graduated from college, but I'm still good. Like it's crazy.
Just if any of your audience is entrepreneurs or anything, I'm sure this resonates with them, but it's like you're in the trenches. When you're starting a
Yeah.
new business, you're like in the trenches. So
Yeah.
what she's saying about self-care. And then I think I would say just I think we struggled in a little bit with finding people to bring onto our team who are like super aligned with our vision, because we have like a very specific vision. As you saw, like in terms of the way everything comes out, in terms of even our social media, in terms of like our marketing, all of it. So I think maybe I would say like to give myself advice back then is like, I mean, it's also hard because you don't really know until you're in it, but to just get that core team like early on as like, stable as you can in terms of like bringing in people who are really aligned with you to like so that you have like good support business wise. But yeah, it's been really fun in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. Enjoy. And also like just remember to enjoy the process. Like I would tell myself, like make sure that, you don't get so caught up in everything, but
This is
just
my
enjoy
first
it.
business that I started with like a friend and a partner.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I'm just like telling her like, yeah, now you know why I've been stressed.
I know. I know. So we're ready now for our next one
And
because
we
now
have
we,
a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs also. So it's
yeah,
just like, we're just all stressed. But it's fun. It's good. It's like a very rewarding and fulfilling
totally.
feeling.
You do get
Yeah.
that total for me, it was like a dopamine rush. When I saw the event, I was like, oh my God, this is so worth it. I can't wait for the next one now.
Yes.
So speaking of next one, so we'll wrap up with you guys kind of giving us more information about what's next, where we can find you guys, and more information and where people can sign up if they're interested.
Yeah, so they can sign up on our website. It's moonmembersclub.com, just www.moonmembersclub.com. Our Instagram is moonmbrs club. So moon members, but it's
We'll put it
abbreviated
in the description too. Yeah.
club. And then our next event is going to be in January
In New York?
in New York. So we will be on the East Coast. We've had a lot of applicants from the East Coast, so they'll be really happy that we're going there for our event.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back on this coast soon. So if there's people that are in LA area and that are looking to be a part of this, please still sign up. The earlier the better, because it really helps us like with the curation process. And we'll be back doing an event in LA soon in the new year as well. But
Yeah.
our next event is in January in New York.
Mhm. Yeah, super excited.
Yes, and we're still open for applications for that as well.
Yeah.
So if in any of your New York or East Coast audience, you guys can go on our website to
Mhm.
apply, fill out the application. There's an application fee. It's $100 to sign up and get your profile reviewed, vetted, and that's how, then we'll invite you to an event that's a good fit for you. So
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, Sophia and Hadia. It was an absolute pleasure. I cannot wait to see what Moon does. Super excited. And thank you so much for bringing this incredibly impactful and much needed, I wouldn't even say business, but this community service to this space. Like, we needed you guys. Thank you for being the ones who actually stepped up and did it. So for those of us who have been complaining, we can actually benefit for all of your amazing work. So thank you both so much and really appreciate the time today.